Good morning, everybody. I am Fotimah and I'm very glad that I'm accompanying you in this semester again. Well, our subject name is Developing Communication Skills, and I firmly believe that this journey will be resourceful, impressive, unforgettable, and very helpful for you. Well, let's now identify the importance of communication skills. Communication skills are vital to every interpersonal interactions. Imagine that after graduating this university, you go to some organization, yes, you go to continue your career path. Then most employers in our modern world, they prefer to employ the people with good interpersonal skills, because by the help of them, it's easy to run the organization smoothly. Okay, and besides that, in the society, if you want to tie some relationships, if you want to communicate with some people, or if you become a businessman and if you want to sign a contract or anything in a cafe anywhere, so you will need to good communication skills. Okay. If you have formed some understanding of our subject, so let's move on to today's topic. So it's developing communication skills, improving understanding, and introducing clarification. Okay? This is the plan of our today's lesson. And first of all, I'll be introducing you the communication skills, the core of communication skills, and introducing clarification, summarizing, and reflecting. Okay? So, communication, students, is simply the act of transferring information from one place to another. So, if I am the speaker, I am the sender of the information, and if you are the listener, you are the recipient. Okay? In order to form communication channel, there should be a speaker, a sender, and the listeners or a listener. Okay? So the speaker should encode the information she or he is saying, and the listener or listeners should decode it. So that all comes to understanding. If the speaker says something and the listener understands this, so this means, encoding and decoding. Okay? And the aim of all communication is understanding. Let's now fully talk about the sender and the recipient. So, the sender can ask the recipient whether they understand or not fully the message that they are sending, and answer any questions from the recipients, because while speaking, while explaining, while listening, the recipients and senders can have questions. Okay, in order to find answers, in order to clarify them, they should ask questions, and the sender can provide examples, in order to illustrate particular points. So this is human factor that we remember fully if we have real life examples, okay, while we are taking in some information. Okay, and it's often said that we remember by our emotions. The next function of the sender is to summarize what they said in short and check whether the listeners understood it or not. In the end of this process, the senders can confirm whether recipients understand the message or not. Okay, good. And let's now talk about the recipient. Okay, they can ask the sender non-judgmental questions to clarify their understanding. So, while we are speaking to someone in order to clarify something, our questions should be non-judgmental, not about their personality, not about their maybe personal interests. This is called ethics, okay, question ethics. And they can ask the sender to provide some examples in order to clarify the message. Okay, good. Let students here identify the purpose and meaning of clarification. So if we cannot understand something while receiving the information, we ask questions from the speaker. This is called clarification. Okay, or the sender can clarify the process, so in order to provide good understanding. let's now talk about summarizing in communication. This is a bit different from the summary we used to write in our past education process. Yeah, so most of us wrote summaries. Yes, we read an article or read a book, and we wrote the summaries about them. Okay, this is also a bit alike, but in communication. One way of clarifying meaning is to use summary to review what has taken place in the conversation. Summary should be in the end of the conversation, or sometimes it can be in the middle of the conversation to check the process is going smoothly, the listener's understanding and the speaker's delivery of speech. Actually, summarizing is a two-way process, so from the listener and the speaker's viewpoints. It's really important that the listeners and speakers should have the same understanding in the end of the communication process. And secondly, the speaker should ask the questions and clarify whether the listener's understanding is the same with theirs. So, if not so, they can correct, they can disagree, they can give different point of views in order to persuade them to their ideas. Students, let's now focus on this exercise and check whether you understood it correctly or not. Next time someone is giving you instructions or telling you something, use summarizing in order to check your understanding, okay? It can be your sister telling you about their graduation party, or some of your friends about their recent examination, or it can be your boss telling you how to do some kind of project. And you can focus on the points given here, okay? So what you had to do summarize, or what effect it had on the conversation, and what effect it had on your understanding. The next process is reflecting. If I simply explain what the reflecting is, you give back what you've taken from the speaker. You show what you've understood from his words. Reflecting is the only way of reprocessing the information given, okay? Speakers are helped through reflecting, as it not only allows them to feel understood, but also gives them the opportunity to encouragement and enthusiasm to focus their ideas. There are several purposes of reflecting. They can be to allow the speaker to hear their own thoughts, and to persuade the speaker that you are seeing the world as they are seeing. And the next is to encourage them to continue their talking. If you cannot reflect, you are reluctant to reflect, the speaker can feel a bit embarrassed and discouraged maybe, because if you show them the zero face expression, if you do not use your body language and eye contact, this cannot lead good communication process. Therefore, reflecting is really important, students. There are two techniques of reflecting. One of them is mirroring, and the second is paraphrasing. Mirroring, as you can guess from the meaning, reflecting back, saying back the same word speaker is saying. So this is also a good technique, but sometimes, students, it can be irritating. Yes, somehow irritating if you repeat the same word that the person next to you is talking. So, okay. Therefore, it's often good to use paraphrasing. Paraphrasing involves using other words to reflect the speaker has said. Okay, you paraphrase, you say other words in order to form the same meaning. So, if you master this skill, it's really useful to form a good communication skills. Let's focus on this exercise in order to check our understanding about reflecting. So, the next time when you go to some communication process, or when you are talking to some friend or a colleague, so ask them to reflect the message. So you two to talk to each other, yes, and one of you will reflect others' opinions, and this process continues the same way with the next person. So In this process, after finishing, you should ask the friend or a colleague how did they feel about this process. These are some guidelines for your reflecting. Be natural, students, and listen for the basic message. While restating, look for verbal as well as non-verbal cues. Okay? And do not question the speaker unnecessarily while reflecting. Do not add the speaker's meaning. Do not take the speaker's topic to a new direction, and always be non-judgmental. So this was all for our today's lesson. So I hope that you got something new and something interesting from this lesson, from this time. And this is your homework, students. You will read the book named Advanced Communication Skills. You can find it on LMS, and you read the page 1 to 14 from this book. And so summarizing your understanding, so after reading this book and watching this lesson, so you will shoot a 2-minute video about your understanding on the importance of communication skills. Okay, then you can place it on LMS and I will find it and check it. So thank you for watching, students. I wish you a nice day.